going on? It is your boy, Mr. Perfect. We are here with another episode of Around Wrestling. Big, huge week this week. Major news we got going on that happened yesterday. Kind of sent shockwaves through the wrestling world. Yesterday, today, not so much, but this week has been jam-packed. It is Friday. I hope you guys are doing well. We're doing another episode tonight. Hit that thumbs up, like, subscribe, all that jazz. We're going to get into it right away. Major stuff to go over. We went last episode. We got 15 minutes in. Might go a little longer today just because we are so jam-packed. Big shout out to Wrestling Universe that helps me edit the videos. Big shout out to everyone that threw the thumbs up, everyone that subscribed, everyone that just likes to hear about wrestling, man. Wrestling in the ring kind of sucks, but let's see. All the backstage news is more exciting than what we got going on. So let's get into it. First deal of business is the cuts releases, the Farlows that went down this week. WWE had some major cuts. So in the statement released on Wednesday, we got the release of Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, EC3. My boy Rusev Day is no longer. He's out of there. Leo Rush, Drake Maverick, Heath Slater, Eric Young, Kurt Hawkins, Aiden English, Sarah Logan, Eric Rowan, Mike and Maria Kanellis, Primo, Epico, No Way Jose, and one of my number one boys, Zack Ryder. Throw up that LI. That's where I'm from. That's where he's from. He lives probably like an hour away, if that, He reps Long Island, so I'm there. They also released Kurt Angle, longtime referee Mike Chioda. They released, there's some other backstage names, Fit Finley, Billy Kidman, Scott Armstrong, I think, was another referee or backstage person that they released. They had, this is one of their bigger cuts in the money saving, trying to save a buck, man. So they furloughed a bunch of employees for an indefinite amount of times. That means that they will not be collecting a paycheck, but they still will be welcomed back when the time is right. Who knows when that time will be right? Because in the climate of today's world, I really don't think that it will be anytime soon. Shit's affecting everyone. So with all those cost cuts, they save $4 million. Think about that. It's not a lot of money, but $4 million to a billionaire is like nothing. But to everyday wrestlers like these guys, I think, and I was one of them, when you make it to the big time, you make it to WWE, man. I mean, you're making, six figures, but I mean, you're not making, NFL, well, not even NFL, NBA, MLB money. Some of these pitchers get paid $1 million a game, when they do pitch. I think LeBron James makes $32 million a season. And does he play all the games? No, he doesn't. So, the big time superstars in WWE, make $1 million, and we're talking about, Rollins and all them. It's probably somewhere. I think Brock makes an ungodly amount of money, but to me, he's worth it. Cena, of course, but all these other guys, I mean, they're making, $1 million plus, it's a lot of money, but when you think about it, to all other sports, it's really not a lot. Vince McMahon said some employees were informed of their fate via text message. Boy, that's almost as bad as getting fired on your day off. Getting canned via text message? What the fuck? That is absolutely insane. I'd be pissed. Save me a trip to come in. I think that's the only thing I'd be happy about. Don't call me from home to come into work to fire me, and then I gotta drag my dumb ass, my tail between my legs, back in my car, and then drive home. I guess they saved them a trip, but that was some major news. Looking at that list of people, man, it is unreal. We're gonna go just a real quick see what they were doing in WWE. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, they were with the OC, with AJ Styles, throwing it up. They were still on TV, man. Hell, they were at WrestleMania in the Boneyard match with The Undertaker. I don't see why you would release them unless they had nothing going forward. These guys were... The tag team division in the WWE is dead. Tag team will never be important as long as Vincent Kennedy McMahon is alive. The only way to make tag team wrestling exciting in WWE is when he kind of either kicks the bucket or, steps down, which I don't see happening. But in other promotions, AEW has a pretty good tag team thing going on. So could they head there? This whole virus is affecting everyone. It's just not WWE. So if WWE is cost-cutting, you could only imagine that every other promotion is cost-cutting, and it's just not like AEW or New Japan or anything like this is going to scoop all these guys up and be like, oh, we're going to offer you a boatload of money. I don't think that's going to happen like that. Other guy, EC3, man, guy had the look. The guy could talk. In Impact, this guy was on the money. I was a huge fan of him, and I was excited for when he had came over to really, do some things, and they just dropped the ball on that one. It was bad. Speaking of dropping the ball, Rusev, man. Rusev Day was over. Rusev got himself over. Tons of momentum he had earlier on. Undefeated streak for the first year. Ran into Big Bad Cena, and Cena kind of squashed that. And then ever since then, he's been on the downcline. Rusev shit. What was it? With the whole storyline with Lana and Bobby Lashley, they were doing, he was a main character for a few months on Raw. Some of the highest rated segments, as dumb as people might think it is, was the whole Rusev and Lana type deal, but the wedding. But completely waste. I mean, my man lost a whole bunch of weight, got in the best shape of his life, pretty much did everything that he could to try to get himself over, came up the whole Rusev Day, got himself over, and WWE does not want you to get yourself over. You could be the hottest thing coming in the business, and they cool you off to try to build you back up in their image. And they let you get just big enough, but not big enough, so you could go and do your own thing. Oh my God, I'm getting interrupted over here. You gotta leave me alone over here.
What were you doing?
I'm making a video.
Make a video about your baby.
No, I'm not making a video. Yes, I am having a baby, which is crazy, in September. But I'm making a wrestling video. Wrestling video? You want to come over here and say who your favorite wrestler is? Yeah, come here. This is my girl. It's my daughter. Tell them who your favorite wrestler is. Who's your favorite wrestler, my love?
John Cena.
John Cena. And who else?
Charlotte.
Charlotte Flair. And who else do you really, really like?
Alexa.
Alexa Bliss is her girl. So, those are your favorites, right? All right, my love. Go play. Go do your homework. Shut the door. All right. So, man, kids, man, this will be next one in September. Boy, another girl. All right. So, crazy. Leo Rush was the next guy that we're going to talk about. Leo Rush, cruiserweight. He was with Bobby Lashley. He was mouthing off in the back, got himself cut from that. Guy just always, his mouth got him in a lot of trouble. Drake Maverick, a.k.a. Rockstar Spud, my dude. Boy, he got himself over too. That's what I was talking about. All right, so getting yourself over. They get you over. WWE, man, Drake Maverick got himself over with the whole 24/7 thing. Some people don't like it. Some people think it was kind of cheesy. But you look on YouTube, look at those videos. They're some of the highest watched segments of Raw whatever week that they were on, man. He made an emotional video stating that he was just very thankful and very grateful. I like the dude. I was a fan of his stuff. Hopefully I know him and EC3 are, they're boys. So hopefully wherever they go, it's a package deal. I thought that they could have worked wonders in WWE. Heath Slater, he's been around forever. Some of these guys, man, they go away, they could come back, and look what happened. Jinder Mahal came back out in great shape. WWE champion. Drew McIntyre, same goddamn thing. He's our champion now. So hopefully Heath can do the same. He's a good guy. When you listen to him on podcasts and interviews and on social media, seems like a lot of people like him. Eric Young. Okay, I can see the cut. Kurt Hawkins, I will always have a soft spot for. Another Long Island boy, him and Zack Ryder, Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. If you're into like old school wrestling figures, they have one. It's a pretty good show. So I always got love for him. He's been fired before and came back. So there it is. You can happen. Aiden English, was never a huge fan of him. I know he was with Rusev for a little bit, but Sarah Logan, hell of a wrestler, man. If you ever listen to any of the Table for Three on the WWE Network, she's on there. Very, very good. I never cared for her, watched those, and I was like, oh, okay. When her matches would come on, I would watch. I was, a fan. Xavier Woods, Up, Down, Down YouTube channel. She was on there with the rest of the Riot Squad. Watched a few of those. I think they were playing Price is Right, they were playing The Price is Right. Hella entertaining. So definitely missed opportunity with her. Just to do some. I mean, Natty Neidhart is stuck around this long. I know she's Bret Hart's niece and Jim Anvil Neidhart's daughter, but she's stuck around mainly for, her name. And she's on Total Divas too. So, hey, find a way to stick around and keep that money. Eric Rowan, man, they had something. They had him bringing out the cage. He's gotten better. I actually cared about him when they were doing this stuff with the cage, and then they just completely as a spider. It was kind of dumb that they had the spider, but I could see it. I mean, Al Snow got over with the mannequin head, which was, Attitude Era, which was funny. Everybody wants head, but Eric Rowan, man, in the PG era, hopefully you should see him kicking around somewhere. Mike Kanellis. Don't know much about Mike Kanellis. I've seen him wrestle on, Superstars or like 205 Live or some stuff like that. Maria Kanellis was in the WWE during like the Ruthless Aggression era, and she is smoke show for an older chick, 35, 36, 37, an older chick. She just had a second kid, so you don't want to see anyone lose a job when they just had a kid. They need some security, but hopefully they land on their feet. Primo and Epico, haven't seen them in God knows how long. They were Los Matadores for a while. I ain't going to miss them. No Way Jose. My kids like No Way Jose. They like singing the theme song. When we went to Raw a few months back, he came out. They were going crazy. Got the crowd going. He was always going to stay at that, But hopefully, again, he lands on his feet. Zack Ryder, man, he is the one that I think can. Him and Rusev, man, they could land somewhere, and they've gotten themselves over, man. Zack Ryder in early 2010, 2011, 2012, the whole woo woo woo. He was over, man. There was a Survivor Series, that year when The Rock came back and tagged with Cena. People were chanting, "We want Ryder," man, and he's just a good dude. I've followed him for such a long time because of, obviously he's a Long Island native, and everything he does, man, he puts his heart and soul into it. He's always working out. He could cut a promo. Has awesome content that he made on YouTube, converted into his wrestling figures, man. If you've never watched his YouTube videos or see his wrestling figure collection, it is amazing. I mean, they're worth a lot of money. He might be needing to sell some now to stay afloat. Hopefully not, but he definitely is someone that I could see landing in AEW. Hopefully, because he is friends with Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes even sent out a tweet or an Instagram post saying that he was so proud of Zack Ryder, and man, it just sucks. He was always not my main event favorite, but he was there, man. He was like that undercard that you really, really enjoy watching. So he's definitely one of them. WWE releasing Kurt Angle. He retired, man, unless he was just giving guys tips and stuff like that in the back. He didn't seem too upset about it. I know a while back that he said that his quality of life was kind of shit. I mean, the guy's broken his neck numerous times, and it's just he's tired. But definitely someone that a lot of people probably went to bounce stuff off of and get over. See if they could just pick the mind of a guy that, as soon as he came into the business, man, he was so good. I was there for watching it all, and the dude could wrestle his ass off, and he was entertaining. Boy, the "You Suck" chants made it that much better. His shit with The Rock and Stone Cold, and his love affair with Stephanie, and battling with Triple H. I mean, Edge and Christian. He was so multi-talented, and then he became the wrestling machine. Matches with Brock Lesnar, Eddie Guerrero. He's definitely someone that I could just see them bringing in, not keeping on their roster, but bringing in for like a Legends deal, appear on Raw and this and that spots. So, that kind of sucks. The referee, Mike Cordera, longest member of the WWE, 31 years, hell of a referee, referees all the big matches. But I guess it's time to cut bait with, he could have been expensive, even though for a ref, what's expensive? Say they're paying him $500,000, they're going to keep a ref that they're paying $100,000 to and try to promote him to be, in my day, what Earl Hebner was, try to make, that became Mike Cordero, and now they'll probably try to build someone else up. Referees matter too, man. As dumb as it sounds, I remember referees from growing up. Tim White, as I said, Mike Cordero, the Hebners, of course. So, with that being said, man, I think we're gonna move on from this. It just sucks. There's a lot of wasted talent that we have. We used to have cuts every, they would release like 5 people at a time. They haven't done it in so long. WWE was trying to hoard talent, and what had happened is they just kept signing, and boy, that money dried up real quick, just to save, $4 million. They brought in, just think about that. They brought in Goldberg to Saudi Arabia to have a match with The Undertaker that was horrible for $2 million. Look at that. So you got to figure his title run and his match at WrestleMania was another $2 million. That's $4 million right there. You don't have Goldberg show up to 3 matches, and you have that money right there. Absolutely ridiculous. invest younger. That's what they're trying to do. Some of these people, Zack Ryder was in the company for 14 years, but he's only 30. He's only 34, 35. It's not a long time, He got signed when he was 20. There was so much. There's a lot of meat left on the bone with these guys. So with that, we will go to. It still has to do with this, but we're going to go on to the next subject. All of them got WWE superstars who were released Wednesday, all under a 90-day no compete clause. So they will begin to appear in major promotions Wednesday, July 15th. So just think, in 2 months, July 15th, Wednesday, if AEW does go live, you could see some new faces show up, which would be awesome. You just don't want no one to not have a job. So with that, it's possible that some indie signings, they could announce it before. There's no word yet that AEW is interested in signing of these people. We know Carl Anderson teased on Twitter today that he was going to go to New Japan Pro Wrestling. But 90 days, man. So these guys are just sitting at home collecting that money. So, not that wrestling is going crazy right now and booming, but I think waiting 90 days to be able to go find the new job. I mean, you sign the contract, so you kind of agree with it. Money was also offered to the talent, and there was a good amount that got like a large sum of money before they left to make up for the, not the ideal circumstances. Hopefully the payouts will be long enough to keep things stable until the wrestlers are able to find new gigs in Ring of Honor, Impact, New Japan, and AEW. So, I mean, it's like a severance pay, kick you some dough and then, give you the fucking boot. The cash makes it all right. Knowing that some of these guys are still young enough to fall in another spot and still get that money. So, next one, man, this one weighs near and dear to my heart. WWE Hall of Famer. This is what we're going to talk about. Number 3, Howard Finkel, man, passed away, age at 69. WWE, the Fink debuted as a WWF announcer in 1977, became a full-time announcer in 1979, and that role continued all the way until the 2000s. 2009, he went into the Hall of Fame. A whole bunch of Hall of Famers and very important people in the wrestling industry tweeted out, as far as Stephanie McMahon tweeted something, Hulk Hogan, Tommy Dreamer, Kevin Owens. What I remember about Howard Finkel is when there'd be a new WWF or WWE champion, I think it was still WWF, he would go, and new! Like, that just rings in my ears super crazy. Like, that is always, when you watch a clip and you hear that, that's wrestling right there. There's the new ones are all right, but it's that brings you right back to your childhood. It's super crazy. The Fink, he also came up with the name WrestleMania. He pitched it to Vince before WrestleMania 1. How crazy is that? The Fink, Howard Finkel. I just watched a clip today of when CM Punk brought him out as his announcer, and that was like the last time that we seen him. He was on WWE Legends House. I think there was only 1 or maybe 2 seasons, but he was on there. That was some years back. But man, Fink died, man, and I hate. This is the one thing I hate about WWE. There's numerous things I hate about WWE, but one thing that I hate that they do is now you're going to see Howard Finkel stuff all over. They're going to tweet about it. They're going to put videos on their YouTube about it. They'll give them like the salute on Raw, which they should absolutely do. But what they do is they don't give these guys the recognition when they're alive. They should have been. If he was in perfect health, then great. We heard the Fink's health had been declining, but use these guys, man. Get content from them. Ask them to come around. Talk about. There's so much knowledge that they have that they could tell younger wrestlers, or they could be interviewed about. It's fucking crazy, man. It's like Vader. All Vader wanted to do was go into the Hall of Fame, and he's not in the Hall of Fame, and he died. And then they started, like, again, posting stuff, tweeting stuff. Nah, have him come in. You're going to have a segment. Interview him about a whole bunch of stuff. Slice up all the stuff, put it in different content. They wait until these people die, and then they mean something to them. Nah, make them mean something when they're alive. Bring them in. Ask them just, they have that bump thing on Instagram, the bump show. And they have that backstage thing also on FS1. Man, bring these guys in. Ask them how they're doing, what they're up to. Just keep their names in the back of your head, man. It's truly sad that sometimes when you're not new and current, you're forgotten about. But these guys have meant so much to wrestling and been there for so long. I just feel like WWE does a great injustice in that. It really pisses you off, British Bulldog passed away. He's going into the Hall of Fame. They're going to put a whole bunch of stuff about the British Bulldog. No, he passed away a while ago or whatever, so that's not, that great of an example. But just still, like, right now, what I would be doing, whatever other shit that you could squeeze out of Bret Hart right now, like, bring him in, like, treat him good, man. He's like, people think of WWF, man, like, if they're listing their top 10, Bret Hart is somewhere from 1 to 10, if not top 20, man. You can't talk about wrestling and the history of wrestling without Bret Hart. I see that they're interviewing The Undertaker a lot more. That's important. They should do it with guys that we don't see all the time. How many times are they going to interview The Big Show, man? It's truly absolutely crazy that they interview The Big Show for everything. I know he was on Austin's first podcast, and now he was on his Broken Soul discussion. It's like they kind of milked the whole Big Show and what's his name? Ric Flair. Man, I've heard every Ric Flair story there is in this world. I mean, I like Ric Flair, but I don't really care about him right now. I don't. Just because I've heard so much about him. They should bring in they should have a table for three, all the old-time refs. Old-time refs sit around, what's the craziest thing you ever seen happen in the ring? Have you ever taken a bump? Did you ever want to be a wrestler when you were younger? Have an episode of something about that. Bring in all these guys. You ever see what Ahmed Johnson looks like these days? You ever hear from him? No, you don't. Because the guy's like 300, 400 pounds, and he's humongous, man. Bring him in. I want to hear what Ahmed Johnson is doing right now. Bring in Savio Vega. I want to hear what he's doing. Mark Mera, what's he doing? You could even go back further. What's Rick the Model Martel doing? I want to hear about him. What's he doing? I don't know. What's Axe and Smash doing? What's Animal doing from the Road Warriors, man? I know some of these people have heat, but with the business, and they're suing them for concussions or whatever. But man, so much. I just want keep someone in the loop, man. It doesn't. I bet you a majority of these guys would love to do a FaceTime interview and have Renee Young ask them a whole bunch of questions. It would probably fucking tickle them pink, man. Shit's crazy. So we're going on a half hour. We're gonna get ready to wrap up. I got some other stuff I want to get to. Maybe tomorrow I'll put out a video or whatever. But switched up the where I sit. Got the Suplex City right behind me. we had the cameo by the one and the only today. But yeah, man, I was truly sad when I heard, people lost their jobs. You say when anyone hears people, losing their jobs, but it's sad to say, but a lot of these guys are kept around and all they would brought to the arena and sit there and sit in catering. I think that's kind of fucked up. Everyone should be trying to get used. You see the same, handful, 3-4 dozen wrestlers every week. There was something new. Right now, it would be a perfect time for you to throw shit out the wall and see what fucking sticks, man. What do we have on Raw? Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. Rollins has been there. McIntyre is there. But shit, bring someone up and try to, make something new happen. But hey, we'll save that for another day. So it is your boy, Mr. Perfect. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Big shout out. Wrestling Universe helps me out with all my shit. Shout out to everyone that liked and subscribed. So I will, I'll let you guys later.